ताम्रारविन्दे क्षणम् भक्ताभीष्टवराभयप्रदकरम् कौपीनमात्रोज्ज्वलम् स्वात्मानन्दरसानुभूतिविवशम् सर्वानवद्याङ्गकम् श्रीमन्तं श्रीरमणेश्वरं गुरुवरं योगासनाध्यासितं ध्यायेत् श्रीरमणेश्वरम् ध्यायेत् श्रीरमणेश्वरम् ध्यायेत् श्रीरमणेश्वरम् हृदयकुहरमध्ये केवलं ब्रह्ममात्रम् यहमहमिति साक्षादात्मरूपेण भाति हृदि विषमनसा स्वं चिन्वतामज्जतव पवनचलनरोधात् आत्मनिष्ठो भवत्वम्। Namo Ramana. On Thursday, Atma Vichara Self-Enquiry Satsangh, which usually Nanda Kumar ji conducts, and as he has been with his family in Tiruvannamalai, I am filling it in for him. And as usual in this Thursday Satsang, Revati would give us two verses selected from the book Guru Vachaka Kovai, and Nanda Kumarji would usually meditate on those two verses and then have a 10 minutes Atma Vichara session. And then finally, we will have the picking up remarks by Venkatesh ji. And today, Revati has selected verse number 308 from the book Guru Vachaka Kovai. This is the first verse, and it is from the chapter Investigation into the Truth. And the topic is worshipping the Guru. And the verse 308 goes, as worship of the feet of the Guru simultaneously destroys the twin vasanas accumulated over endless eons, and as it brings forth in the heart the dawn of Gnana, that is the cause for our not being frightened of indescribable ignorance, that worship, performed with devotion and reverence, alone is the befitting true mantra for noble disciples in whom dispassion is strong. Under the topic worshipping the Guru, it's a very beautiful verse. I repeat it again. As worship of the feet of the Guru simultaneously destroys the twin vasanas accumulated over endless eons, and as it brings forth in the heart the dawn of Gnana, that is the cause for our not being frightened of indescribable ignorance. That worship, that is that worship of the feet of the Guru, performed with devotion and reverence, Alone is the befitting true mantra for noble disciples in whom dispassion is strong. Muruganar Swami says the twin vasanas are the auspicious and inauspicious Shubha and Ashubha vasanas. As worship of the feet of the Guru by itself enables disciples to attain the excellent benefit of the mantra yoga, which are destruction of the mind and gnana. That worship is said to be through mantra. The worship of the feet of the Guru. When we actually embark in on this journey, on this spiritual journey, having recognized there is something larger than what we are experiencing in this life. Absolutely no doubt a guru is essential. It is only the grace of the Guru in the beginning, in the middle, and the end which enables us to complete this journey from this mundane life to that of the truth, which alone is. Though it alone is, as sadhakas, it is obvious we were not seeing it, or neither had that perception towards it. What we had, the perception as sadhakas, was full of divisions, full of likes and dislikes, Shubha or Ashubha. Those vasanas, the whole of the waking state, was full of likes or dislikes. Likes for what I feel is important or is a source of happiness for me, and dislikes for all those which makes me not find myself to be happy. That's the two vasanas which we are made to attend in the whole of the waking state. And though there is the absolute truth in the midst of all of it, as sadhakas, we never see it. We are only carried away by the likes and dislikes. The likes that I want to become a computer engineer, the likes that I have to have a salaried job which is like this or that, then the likes that I need to marry such and such a person with such and such a qualities, all the likes and dislikes. That is what completely occupies when we embark on this spiritual journey. We are just a jiva, the jiva bhava, that I am this body, and associated with it the knowledge, all the intellectual and mind full of data knowledge vasanas keep us going, though there is absolute truth. So then somewhere, as Nandakumarji always keeps saying, the devotion, and he keeps saying in devotion, the people who are devoted have somehow embarked on the bus of faith or the train of faith. They have been blessed to believe the Guru, even though they might have not experienced. When we enter the life in this journey of spirituality, whoever have entered with lot of devotion to the Guru, Nanda Kumarji would say, they have embarked on the journey on with faith, with such wonderful faith. And the people who are embarked this journey with gnana have some doubts. So they need to still get all their doubts resolved to gain that faith. But here it is being talked about the devotion towards the Guru in this verse. And it is being made very, very clear that whoever has got that devotion, that faith, that this my spiritual journey will have its fruition through the devotion to the Guru, will first find that his vasanas, which were so strong in him when as a jiva, the likes and dislikes, the shubha and the ashubha, between which the jiva was being completely tossed up and down, slowly and steadily have less influence over the body, mind, and intellect. We see the grace of the Guru removing, destroying this Shubha and Ashubha Vasana, these dualities. Then, when all the dualities is removed or destroyed, how the Guru will give the gnana that whenever we attend to this dualities, these likes and dislikes, not only that we undergo lot of bewilderment, this jiva bhava is kept intact. So by holding on to this dual likes and dislikes, shubha and ashubha, we start to understand that the truth which alone is being not attended. We are attending to these imaginary likes and dislikes because none of these likes and dislikes are there in our sleep. In the sleep, we are not least bothered about any of our likes and dislikes. In fact, we don't know who we are also. We are so free of everything. So somewhere the Guru makes us to understand that not only by his grace he removes the effect of the vasanas on us, he makes us also understand that we should consciously not attend to these dualities, the likes and the dislikes. And the grace and the knowledge that he gives, when it completely removes all the itcha towards likes and dislikes, then what remains is actually the truth. And that truth was, what would we say, the snake as it is superimposed on the rope. These likes and dislikes, these dualities were superimposed on that one thing which was always present, the truth, the true being consciousness, which alone is. So the gnana, he says, in this verse, Bhagavan says, the heart, in the heart, the gnana will rise automatically when these dualities are seen to be imaginary or seen to be the source of all the trouble, and is also eradicated by the grace of the Guru. And all of this happens with the devotion, with the faith in the Guru, says Bhagavan here. And what is the result of having eradicated this duality and the dawn of the gnana, the dawn of the truth, that truth alone is, and all these dualities, all other things, including me, myself as an individual, all of this is again a liking towards the individual. And I'm holding on to that individuality is again my liking to the individuality. So all of this, when it is understood that it is making me superimpose an imaginary separation, wherein in truth there is absolutely oneness. When we let go that by the grace of the Guru, then the pure gnana that the self alone is, everything is nothing but the self, takes place. And then where is the fear, says Bhagavan? The result of it is the fear of the indescribable ignorance goes away. For a moment, we can see if we just hold on to the ignorance, if we hold on to this individual, and if we even try to do anything we see the mind is neither happy with the past, very afraid of the future, and not settling with what is there in the present. So, this mind, which is what we are taking ourselves to be real, which is full of dualities, divisions, we see that every time the circumstances says us changes, it is having a new fear of the future, new consideration of the past, and a new unsettling with the present. If there is a stomach pain, then it is unsettling presently with the stomach pain. If the, let us say, the stomach pain goes away, then the headache comes, then it is unsettling with it. And it is unsettling with all of the past. It is unsettling with concern with all of the future. We see that by holding on to this ignorance, which is caused in the, which rises in the form of thoughts in the mind, and it is all because of this two vasanas, the Shubha Icha and Ashubha Icha. The, if we see that, then we see that, oh my God, how many amount of likes and dislikes I have, and it is changing from moment to moment. It is changing from circumstances to circumstances. And this, and I don't know what all circumstances will come in my life. And when I see some other people going through life with so many different journey than mine, some don't have a wife, some don't have a children, some don't have legs, some don't have eyes, and I see people having innumerable circumstances, therefore innumerable number of thoughts that could come unsettling about the past, about the future and the present. And when I see all of this indescribable ignorance, and then the fear associated with all of it, and then we see this gnana, this oneness, which natural oneness, which is present when the Guru's grace destroys all of these dualities, then we can see what a bliss it is. So the worship of the Guru, Bhagavan says here, brings about that, removes all the fear. Dvitiyam bhayam bhavati, it is said. All the fear is removed. All the possible fears which may come due to various circumstances which is beyond my control is all removed, because it is all seen as nothing but the self. And this, well, at that depth, we can appreciate the devotion to the Guru and the reverence for him, for having, that we could have never understood these things but for his grace. But for his grace revealing it in front of our eyes, the big mistake we were doing by holding on to dualities, by holding on to ignorance. And we will be forever revered for his abundant grace. And that is the real mantra. The devotion to the Guru is the real mantra, because that mantra brings the yoga. Mantra yoga, says Muruganar Swami. And that is the noble disciple, that is all a noble disciple has to look for, says Bhagavan here. That is the true mantra, says Muruganar Swami. So the devotion, which starts with faith and goes up to destroy all the vasanas, and then bring forth the natural gnana, and therefore make us not fear from anything, how the self would manifest from moment to moment, recognizing it is all nothing but the self. And with that, the reverence that we have to the lotus feet of the Guru, and brings the yoga, the oneness with them. And that is the true mantra yoga, says Bhagavan here. And with this abundant grace, with which alone we have come to this most direct path, The mantra, who am I, makes us turn ourselves from the vasanas which have raised in the form of a thought by questioning to whom is this me, and therefore further inquiring who am I. And that is the who am I is the lotus, the worship of the devotion to the lotus feet of the Guru. The Atma Vichara which Bhagavan has given in the form of who am I is the real lotus worship of the lotus feet of the Guru, which makes us get away from the dualities which has, or get away from the vasanas which has raised from in the form of a thought, back to the gnana, that pure presence, the pure being, that which is the self, by inquiring who am I, by relying on the grace of the Guru, which takes us and establishes here and now at his feet, at that truth, that gnana, and therefore makes us become fearless about the thought which has arisen, and make us abide in that mantra yoga here and now. The abundant grace of Bhagavan, with which alone we have come to this most direct path. For the next 10 minutes, let us practice Atma Vichara. Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya. Moving to the next verse. This is verse number 634 of the book Guru Vachaka Kovai from the chapter Meditation on the Truth. Sorry, 633 from the chapter Meditation on the Truth, the birth of misery. The birth of misery. Verse 633. You should redeem yourself by thinking without thought of the divine grace of God. How can this be accomplished? By sprouting forth and rising up as I to destroy the outward moving attention of the ghost like ego that proclaims itself as I. Seek the I and abide firmly in Mauna, wherein you remain as that. This is the verse under the topic, the birth of misery. And it is said, you should redeem yourself by thinking without thought of the divine grace of God. How can this be accomplished? By sprouting forth and rising up as I, to destroy the outward moving attention of the ghost like ego that proclaims itself as I. Seek the I and abide firmly in Mauna, wherein you remain as that. The divine grace of God, the divine grace of Guru, we saw even in the last verse, is to completely eliminate all the vasanas which rise in the form of thoughts. Therefore, thinking without thought, that is, thinking about that grace without a thought, is the true recognition of the divine grace, says Bhagavan here. So, when we absolutely are in a thought free state, and we are only then directly in communion with that grace, with the divine grace of God. And that is the true thinking of that God. That is the true knowing of that God or the grace of that God. To be one with it. Knowing is being, says Bhagavan in Upadesha Saram. So that alone redeems us from this individual idea, says Bhagavan. Bhagavan, somewhere in talks, also says this Maya, which is very hard to overcome. See, if what Bhagavan is saying there is, by continuously thinking, how do I overcome this Maya? What should I do? So, what should I know? What should I do? Which is all in the realm of the Maya. You cannot get out of it, says Bhagavan. The only thing which frees us from this is that truth which is here and now free of it. And what is that? That is the grace of the God or the grace of the Guru, which is the pure presence, the pure self, which is thought free. And it's only upon thoughts this whole limitation rises. Therefore, Thinking without thought, that is, being in that mauna, being in that silence, is the true recognition of the divine grace, and that alone can redeem this Maya, which is full of thoughts only. It's only the thoughts which bind us. So that thought free state alone redeems us, says Bhagavan here. So we should, the whole purpose of Atma Vichara is to not realize the truth, because the truth is ever present. The grace as the thought free self is always present. It is our desire to run behind thoughts, grasp one thought after the other, thinking that it will bring some sort of a happiness.
Deep sir?
It's Mauna time, Mauna time.
So I'm having some network issues here. I don't know. We'll just quickly read the second verse and meditate. You should redeem yourself by thinking without thought of the divine grace of God. How can this be accomplished? By sprouting forth and rising up as I, to destroy the attention of the ghost like ego that proclaims itself as I, seek the I and abide firmly in Mauna, wherein you remain as that. Bhagavan here is very clearly making it that the thoughtless state, the Mauna, is really the redeeming truth. In letting that go, or taking which, because it is always present, taking that for granted and holding on to a thought rising up as I is like holding on to the ghost like ego. So, how can we become free? Is only possible by holding on to that mauna, that thoughtless state, thinking without thinking, says Bhagavan here. And by holding on to that, here and now, we are one with that, that being the self, and that alone can redeem us because thoughts and all of its divisions are all in the realm of the Maya, and this alone is here and now free of it, the Mauna. And Bhagavan asks us that be watchful of not grasping thoughts and getting into the divisions, but redeem yourself from the thoughts by abiding in that thought free state, that is, thinking without thoughts, or in that mauna. With the abundant grace of Bhagavan, for the next 10 minutes, let us abide in that mauna. Namo Bhagavate Shri Ramanaya. I now request Venkatesh ji to give the summing up remarks. Namo Ramana.
Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Dhyanamoolam Guror Murti, Pujamulam Guror Padam, Mantramulam वाक्यम मोक्षमूलम गुरोर्कृपः मोक्षमूलम गुरोर्कृपः. Namo Ramana. Let us look at our life. When we were born, what happened? When we were born, we were actually in Mauna. But then what happened? The doctor gave a little whack on our back. And he says that you cannot be in Mauna, be like us. And then what happened? You started crying. That's the first thing he made. Then everybody was happy. Oh, you are also crying. Very good. So you're also like us. We are also crying. You are also crying. Then what happened? Fine. But then when you became slightly older, then everybody told you what you need to do. You need to accumulate. Whatever it is, you need to accumulate. Then first you saw your toys and you said my toy and my book. And then slowly what happened was you went through studies and school and college, and then you got a job, and then you have to accumulate more, accumulate wealth, accumulate properties, accumulate money, accumulate gold, accumulate so many things, so many things. You go on accumulating through your life. And then what happens? Then comes old age. Then you say, oh my God, whole life is gone in only in accumulation. Now I have to realize God somehow. I do not know how long I will live. I have to somehow realize God. What do I do? Then the prapancha, the world is actually the greatest guru. It will teach you wonderfully. The Dattatreya says, with every interaction that you have, that you learn something. You only have to keep your eyes and ears open. With every interaction you learn. So life then teaches the guru, the life, the world, prapancha will start teaching you. What will they teach you? They will teach you, oh, you want to be spiritual? Okay, then what you need to do is you have to let go. My God, my whole life I have actually accumulated so many degrees, I have accumulated so much wealth, so many life friends, so many people have accumulated. Now you're saying, let go. Yes, you have to let go whatever you've learned also. Imagine such a shock it is for you. But then what happens? You have to let go. And what is this called? This is called asangoham. Asangoham. You were born, when you were born, you came with nothing. And you started accumulating throughout your life. And then what happened? At the end of your life, you have to asangoham, you have to let go, let go, let go. The faster you let go, the quicker you will be in that state when you were born in Mauna. And when you're dead, what happens? If you are fortunate that you have let go everything, all the external leanings have gone because of the ghost-like ego, then what happens? You again come back to Mauna. So it's a very funny thing. This whole life, it may be 60 years, 70 years, 80 years, 100 years. You are born in Mauna, you die in Mauna, But, and everybody, when you die, they said, oh, you have to do self-inquiry to get into Mauna. But whole life is like about accumulation, accumulation, and accumulation. When you are born, you cry, you say, oh my God, why am I born again? When you die, you say, thank God I've left this body. And you are very, very happy. Again, you are born. So Bhagavan says, life is a great battlefield. It teaches you everything. It's a guru, greatest guru. And you, what does it teach you? It teach you, let go, asangoham. Why do people go to ashram to become a take sannyasa? Sannyasa, what is sannyasa? Basically letting go. That I've got nothing. This body itself does not belong to me. In sannyasa, they actually pray, they finish their last rite then and there itself. They say this body itself is not mine, forget about anything else. And we as grahastis, what do? We want to accumulate more, more. Stock market going up, this going down, everything I want more and more. So Bhagavan says, unless you let go, if you let go totally, then only God is available for you. But the more you accumulate, there is no place for God. So whole life that we have seen is about accumulation. And what we need to do is asangoham, be detached. By what? By viveka and vairagya, discrimination and dispassion. We have to continuously keep those buttons on all the time. And the more we are dispassionate and we discriminate, we'll let go all this. The quicker we let go, the quicker we will have the experience of the self. Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya. Namo Ramana.
Namo Ramana Venkatesh, thank you so much. Can we have the Ashtotra by Vaibhavji and Pratnama to conclude? You are in mute, Vaibhavji.
Yeah. Namo Ramana. भारद्वाज विश्वनाथ विरचितं श्रीरमणाष्टोत्तर शतनामावलिः अपार सच्चित् सुखवान् विराशे यस्योर्मिमात्रं भुवनं समस्तं गुहाहितं तं रमणं गभीरं चिन्ताविहीनं हृदि चिन्तयामि ॐ महासेन महंसेन जाताय नमः ॐ श्रीरमणाय नमः ॐ गुरवे नमः ॐ अखण्डसंविदाकाराय नमः ॐ महौजसे नमः ॐ कारणोद्भवाय नमः ॐ जगद्धितावताराय नमः ॐ श्रीभूमिनाथस्थलोस्थिताय नमः ॐ पराशरकुलोत्तंसाय नमः ॐ सुन्दरार्यतपःफलाय नमः ॐ कमनीयसुचारित्राय नमः ॐ सहायाम्बा सहायवते नमः ॐ शोणाचलमहोलीनमानसाय नमः ॐ स्वर्णहस्तकाय नमः ॐ श्रीमद्द्वादशान्तमहास्थले लब्धविद्योदयाय नमः ॐ महाशक्तिनिपातेन प्रबुद्धाय नमः ॐ परमार्थविदे नमः ॐ तीव्राय नमः ॐ पितृपदान्वेषिणे नमः ॐ इन्दुमौलिना पितृमते नमः ॐ पितुरादेशतः शोणशैलं प्राप्ताय नमः ॐ तपोमयाय नमः ॐ उदासीनाय नमः ॐ महायोगिने नमः ॐ महोत्साहाय नमः ॐ कुशाग्रदिये नमः ॐ शान्तसङ्कल्पसंरम्भाय नमः ॐ सुसन्दृशे नमः ॐ सवित्रे नमः ॐ स्थिराय नमः ॐ तपक्षपितसर्वाङ्गाय नमः ॐ फुल्लाम्बुजविलोचनाय नमः ॐ चन्द्रिकासितहासश्रीमण्डिताननमण्डलाय नमः ॐ च्यूतवाट्यां समासीनाय नमः ॐ चूर्णिताखिलविभ्रमाय नमः ॐ वेद वेदांत तत्वज्ञाय नमः। ॐ चिन्मुद्रिणे नमः। ॐ त्रिगुणातिगाय नमः। ॐ विरूपाक्ष गुहावासाय नमः। ॐ विराजदशलाकृतये नमः। ॐ उद्दीप्तनयनाय नमः। ॐ पूर्णाय नमः। ॐ रचिताचलताण्डवाय नमः। ॐ गम्भीराय नमः। ॐ परमाचार्याय नमः। ॐ सुप्रसन्नाय नमः। ॐ अभयप्रदाय नमः। ॐ दक्षिणस्य निधाय नमः। ॐ धीराय नमः। ॐ दक्षिणाभिमुखाय नमः। ॐ स्वराजे नमः। ॐ महर्षये नमः। ॐ भगवते नमः। ॐ ईड्याय नमः। ॐ भूमविद्याविशारदाय नमः। ॐ विमलाय नमः। ॐ दीर्घदर्शिने नमः। ॐ आप्ताय नमः। ॐ ऋजुमार्गप्रदर्शकाय नमः। ॐ समदृशे नमः। ॐ सत्यदृशे नमः। ॐ सत्याय नमः। ॐ प्रशान्ताय नमः। ॐ अमितविक्रमाय नमः। ॐ सुकुमाराय नमः। ॐ सदानन्दाय नमः। ॐ मृदुभाषिणे नमः। ॐ दयार्णवाय नमः। ॐ श्रीशोणाचलऋग्भोधस्कन्दाश्रमनिकेतनाय नमः। ॐ सद्दर्शनोपदेष्ट्वे नमः। ॐ सद्भक्तवृन्दपरिवृताय नमः। ॐ गणेशमुनिभृङ्गेन सेविताङ्घ्रिसरोरुहाय नमः। ॐ गीतोपदेशसारादिग्रन्थसञ्चिन्न संशयाय नमः। ॐ वर्णाश्रममतातीताय नमः। ॐ रसज्ञाय नमः। ॐ सौम्याय नमः। ॐ आत्मवते नमः। ॐ सर्वावनिमतस्थानाम् आराध्याय नमः। ॐ सर्वसद्गुणिने नमः। ॐ आत्मारामाय नमः। ॐ महाभागाय नमः। ॐ मातृमुक्तिविधायकाय नमः। ॐ विनताय नमः। ॐ विनुताय नमः। ॐ विप्राय नमः। ॐ मुनीन्द्राय नमः। ॐ पावकोज्ज्वलाय नमः। ॐ दर्शनादकसंहारिणे नमः। ॐ मौलेन स्वात्मबोधकाय नमः। ॐ ऋच्चान्तिकरसान्निध्याय नमः। ॐ स्मरणाद्बन्धमोचकाय नमः। ॐ अन्तस्तिमिरचण्डांशवे नमः। ॐ संसारार्णवतारकाय नमः। ॐ शोणादृशस्तुतिद्रष्टे नमः। ॐ हार्दविद्याप्रकाशकाय नमः। ॐ अविच्युतनिजप्रज्ञाय नमः। ॐ नैसर्गिकमहातपसे नमः। ॐ कमण्डलुधराय नमः। ॐ शुभ्रकौपीनवसनाय नमः। ॐ गुहाय नमः। ॐ दण्डपाणये नमः। ॐ कृपापूर्णाय नमः। ॐ भवरोगविषग्वराय नमः। ॐ स्कन्दाय नमः। ॐ देवतमाय नमः। ॐ अमर्त्याय नमः। ॐ सेनान्ये नमः। ॐ पुरुषोत्तमाय नमः। ॐ श्रीरमण भगवते नमः। श्रीरमणाष्टोत्तरशतनामपूजां समर्पयामि। यस्थानोररुणाचलस्य पदयोः स्मृत्याजनिं प्राप्यत दिव्यानुग्रहसुप्रवाहविवशस्तादात्म्यभावं गतः हृन्निष्ठस्वगभीरनित्यतपसा लोकान् पुनः सेकराट् तस्मै श्रीरमणाय ते नम इदं लोकोत्तरज्योतिषे। ॐ नमो भगवते श्रीरमणाय।
Namo Ramana Vaibhavji and Pratnama. Namo Ramana Venkatesh. Namo Ramana to all. Namo Ramana Singh.